Hi, I'm Amanda, and we're going to go over my lesson plan. The objective is to isolate and pronounce initial, medial vowel, or final phonemes in spoken single-syllable words. As a review, we would start with the alpha chant. This is generally something that teachers do in small group at the teacher table with each group over and over again every day. It's pretty catchy and the kids like it, and it's a way for them to learn not only their alphabet but the sounds that each letter makes. We would start with A apple, apple, B ball, B ball, and so on. Like I said, it's pretty catchy and the kids catch on and they like it. For an overview, I would say, how many sounds are in the word pot? And the students would then respond with 3 sounds. And then we would get our hand ready and we would go p, a, t, pot. I would then say, my favorite animal is a dog. Can anyone tell me the sounds in dog? And hopefully the whole class would raise their hand. And so I would say, okay, class, together, let's say the sounds in the word dog. And we would go hands up, and we'd bring our hands up, and we would say d-a-g, dog. The purpose and importance would be to prepare students to read unfamiliar words. The continuity, gathering that most likely last week we isolated initial and final phonemes in words. Today we will isolate initial, medial, or final phonemes in words. And then projecting that next week that the learners would be able to isolate and pronounce unfamiliar words using the initial, medial, and final phonemes. The objective would be that the learner would isolate initial, medial, vowel, or final phonemes in words. As a little motivation, we would start by pulling up this game, Puzzle Me Words, on the Smart board or the Promethean board. Puzzle Me Words is a pretty cute game. You can start by clicking on the sound. If you can find, there it is.
Jet.
And it says jet. So then to put the puzzle together, you would come over, find the J for J, find the E for it, and the T,
Jet. Good job.
Jet. And it would all go together, and the bus moves. The next one would be bun, and so on and so forth. We could probably do 2 of those. We would probably do 2 of those together, and then move on to letting the students come up. Call them one by one and let them come up and do the same thing. Then for the activity, we would do Sound Quest. This is one of the ones that I pulled off of the Florida Center for Reading. It identifies the initial, medial, or final sounds of pictures. I would then model how we would do the activity by cutting out each one of the cards. We would sort the cards according to the initial, medial, or final sounds, and then we would glue them under the correct heading. Well, the students would also have this sheet with the shark being broken into pieces. I would then read the objective to the class. The objective is to find the pictures that share the same initial, medial, or final sound. look at this picture, and I would show them this one. It's a picture of a dog and a duck. Which sound is the same? And hopefully the class would say the initial sound, the duh. So it would go under the head of the shark. Okay, so look at this picture. The head of the shark is the initial sound. The body of the shark is the medial sound, and the tail of the shark is the final sound. So then the dog and duck picture would go under the initial sound. I would then pair up the students and pass all this out, and remind the students that when they're working together as partners that they have to agree, they both have to agree on the sounds before they can glue it. So it's kind of like a team building Kagan structure. It's where they have to agree before they're able to actually glue it down. The students would then be told that they can get out their scissors and their glue. The learners would then work with their partner to complete this activity. We would do the first one or two together, and then they would go on to finish the rest of them. I would then collect this at the end for an assessment to kind of see, if anybody was having any trouble with it or whatnot. Next, for your extensions and adaptions, they could illustrate other double picture cards with matching initial, final, or medial phonemes and sort them. As a closure, I would place these two sheets on each group of 4 students' tables, and they would then cut these out and kind of go about the same process in finding out which section of the shark they would go under, if it was a initial, a medial, or a final sound. I would then have the students sort them by sounds, initial, medial, or final, and then I would call on one person from each group to just verbally state which pictures they were doing and which sound those pictures had the same of. So if it would be the initial, the medial, or the final. I would then ask the students, how did you find out how to sort the cards? Kind of like an applying question. And then, is there any other way to sort the cards? Kind of an understanding, making them think a little bit deeper. Is there any other ways that I could have sorted these cards? Why do you need to know how to identify the sounds in a word? Kind of an analyzing question, making them think, again, a little bit deeper. For homework, I would give them a sheet of paper, and the learners would isolate initial, medial, and final phonemes of 3 or 4 items from home, such as dog or cat, dad or mom. They would need to write the word, and then maybe they could draw a picture to go with it and color it. For my early finishers, the learners will color their double picture cards, and then if I had any students with special needs, they could work with the paraprofessional. If the para wasn't available, then those students could possibly be paired with a higher level student and let those two work together. And if that's not possible, then they would work with the teacher as a part, with myself as the partner. For me, remediation, each learner would come up in small groups and work with me during center time to again kind of reinforce or reteach the whole idea of identifying the initial, the medial, or the final phonemes. For my enrichment students, the learners will write the names of the pictures on the sheet. So, for instance, I would have them write duck underneath the duck, dog underneath the dog, and so on. And that is it. I hope that you enjoyed my lesson, and I hope everybody has a blessed evening. Bye.